Homelessness plagues the West, with governments making promises, yet each year the crisis deepens. We see the trend of hostile architecture, like these spiked benches and pathways designed to deter the homeless. But is it to end homelessness or the homeless? To all these problems, there is one exception: Finland, the only country to effectively end homelessness. How did they achieve this, and why is it seemingly exclusive to Finland? In this video, we dive into the Finnish model, uncovering the unique approach that has proven successful. But before you get your hopes up at the end of this video, we'll explore why this solution won't work anywhere else. Let's begin. In 2008, Helsinki's parks weren't just green spaces. They were dotted with makeshift homes, tent villages and huts. Homeless individuals sought refuge amidst the trees, battling the unforgiving natural conditions and harsh weather. You see, Finland has been dealing with homelessness since the 1980s. They tried to tackle it with short-term shelters, but something was missing. Long-term homelessness folks were left stranded, emergency shelters were short in numbers, and breaking free from homelessness seemed impossible. No job without an address, no flat without a job, and the cycle kept on. Social benefits were out of reach, a maze of challenges left the homeless feeling trapped. Then, in 2008, the Finnish government revealed the Housing First model, a new policy for the homeless. The idea was simple but effective, and guess what? It worked. The number of people grappling with homelessness took a nosedive. You might wonder what's so special about Housing First. Well, it changed everything. Instead of insisting on job security before providing shelter, Finland decided to do the opposite. Shelter first, everything else second. This approach prioritizes stability, giving people a chance to rebuild their lives from a secure foundation. Fast forward to today, and the policy is a resounding success. In fact, Finland stands alone in the EU as the only country witnessing a decline in homelessness. So, how does Finland do it? Well, it's not magic. It's a thoughtful approach led by NGOs. These organizations play a pivotal role by providing housing for those in need. They handle the construction, purchase flats from the private housing market, and spruce up existing ones. These apartments typically offer 1 to 2 rooms, offering a cozy space for individuals who were once facing the harsh realities of homelessness. What's interesting is the transformation of former emergency shelters into long-term residences. This means homeless individuals become tenants, complete with a tenancy agreement. And, just like any other tenant, they're responsible for paying rent and operating costs. But it doesn't stop there. Social workers stationed in these residential buildings are there to lend a helping hand, tackling financial matters like applications for social benefits. These NGOs don't work in isolation. They receive discounted loans from the state to acquire housing. The state also chips in to pay social workers, those volunteers aiding both the homeless and future tenants. And guess who else is on board? The Finnish lottery, supporting the NGO's efforts when they buy property from the private housing market. Of course, regular bank loans play a role too, but here's the clever part. The rental income generated from these apartments is later used to pay off those loans they took in the first place. So, all in all, it's a system that offers not just shelter, but a sense of stability and dignity. Stick around as we uncover more layers of this innovative approach and explore why it might not seamlessly translate to other parts of the world. Unlike traditional approaches, where the homeless are often expected to find a job or overcome psychological challenges before receiving assistance, Housing First works the other way around. In Finland, individuals experiencing homelessness are given a flat, no strings attached. Social workers step in to assist with applications for social benefits and offer counseling. This creates a new, secure foundation, making it easier for those affected to address job searches and tend to their physical and mental well-being. The numbers speak for themselves. With Housing First, 4 out of 5 homeless individuals manage to maintain their homes for an extended period, leading to a more stable life. Over the past decade, Housing First has provided 4,600 homes in Finland. In 2017, with approximately 1,900 people still living on the streets, the program aimed to reduce this number to less than 1,000 long-term homeless by 2019. And, while not everyone was housed by then, there were at least enough places in emergency shelters, ensuring that people didn't have to endure the harsh reality of sleeping outdoors. And here's something interesting. Opposite to what you might think, providing people with apartments is actually cheaper than leaving them on the streets. You heard me right. Let's take a look at the numbers. Over the last decade, Finland invested 270 million euros in constructing, purchasing, and renovating housing as part of the Housing First program. Now, that might sound like a hefty price tag, but it's way less than the cost of homelessness itself. Now, you might be thinking, how does homelessness cost the state anything? Well, when people are left in emergency situations on the street, problems escalate. Emergencies become more frequent, leading to incidents like assaults, injuries, and breakdowns. And guess who gets called in? The police, healthcare, and justice systems, each intervention costing money. So here's the takeaway. Housing First is the smarter investment. The state now spends 15,000 euros less per year per homeless person than before. How good could it get? Housing First is no magic wand, but it has a darn good success rate. This scheme has an impressive track record, with 4 out of 5 people holding onto their flats for the long haul. Sure, in about 20% of cases, folks might decide to move out, perhaps opting to stay with friends or family, or facing challenges in covering the rent. But here's the beauty of it. They're not left stranded. If they wish, they can reapply for an apartment and the support continues. Now, let's be real. There's no one-size-fits-all solution, and success isn't guaranteed. Homeless women in particular present a unique challenge. They often hide their emergency situations, spend less time on the streets, and may prefer staying with friends or acquaintances. It's a complex story, but Housing First is proving to be a key piece. Now, you might be thinking, if Finland can practically solve homelessness, why can't we? Well, it's not that simple. Let's look at the details. First off, Finland's approach is underpinned by strict regulations addressing public safety nuisances. Their Public Order Act prohibits activities like disturbing public order, buying and offering sexual services, urinating in public, and possessing substances that could harm others. These regulations, along with a lack of gun culture and a robust healthcare system, set a unique stage for the Housing First success story. Moreover, Finland's tight immigration policies play a key role. To freely move there, you basically need to be a citizen of Nordic countries. This homogeneity and size contribute to the country's success, something that can't be mirrored in larger, more diverse nations like the USA. Let's take Seattle or New York, for example. They face a different set of challenges. The Housing First model works in Finland because of its harsh penalties for antisocial behavior, including public drug use. In contrast, many US cities, including Seattle, don't have the same level of strict enforcement. Another critical factor is the difference in social trust. Finland boasts high social trust, with people reporting greater confidence in their neighbors and the government. In the US, especially among the homeless population, trust in the government's interest in helping them can be lacking. Now, let's crunch some numbers. Finland ranks 23rd in the least homeless ranking, with a significantly lower rate of homelessness compared to the USA, which ranks 34th. The rate of unsheltered homeless in Finland is notably lower, indicating a different quality of homelessness. Housing First might have been established in the USA, but its success depends heavily on local politics. In Finland, the program started in 2007 and became a nationwide initiative in 2019, but the decline in homeless predates this official status. In essence, Finland's success isn't just about size or uniformity. Russia, Brazil, and India, despite their size and diversity, show varying rankings. The USA's homelessness situation might be seen as worse than it is, and the lack of a cohesive national program contributes to the challenges. And here's a fact: Finland is not being invaded daily by thousands of people, and they likely don't throw their young military personnel far for war. This context significantly shapes their social fabric, creating an environment that isn't easily replicated elsewhere. And this is how Finland ended homelessness and why it can't be replicated. We hope you like this video. Make sure to hit the subscribe button for more insightful content and unfiltered breakdown of interesting topics. This is Econoscope signing off.